Hi, I'm Rick Warren, author of The Purpose-Driven Life and founding pastor of Saddleback Church with campuses here in Southern California and on 4 other continents too. You know, this last week, I read a fascinating article of several stories of people who had inherited a huge, massive fortune, but they didn't know it. Nobody had ever told them about it, so these people were actually living in poverty. They weren't aware of the benefits that had been passed on to them, so they were living lives below the standard that they were intended to live at. Can you imagine that? Or let's take another thing. Imagine if you had a terminal disease, but you didn't know that the cure had been found. That would be tragic, and your life would unnecessarily be shortened simply because you didn't know what was available. You know, in many ways, both of those stories, those examples, are metaphors for the way most people live today. And I can guarantee you that you are not living the fullest level of life that God intends for you to live. The reason is that because you simply maybe have never been made aware of what God has purchased for you through the death and the resurrection of his son, Jesus Christ. And just give me a couple of seconds of your time to explain this important news, because it's news you can use. You know, this week, which is Easter week, about 2.5 billion people, followers of Jesus Christ, will celebrate Jesus' death and his resurrection. 2.5 billion people. That's 1 out of every 3 people on the planet. What's the big deal? You know, when I was a kid, I never could understand why the day that Jesus was arrested and tortured and beaten and then crucified on the cross was called Good Friday. I mean, what's so good about suffering and torture and death? It didn't seem to be a very good day for Jesus. And of course it wasn't. But Jesus was no victim. And he gave his life voluntarily to purchase your freedom from your past, all the past mistakes, your eternal inheritance in heaven, and a long, 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 long list of benefits that you should be enjoying right now, but maybe, just maybe, you're unaware of. It wasn't good for Jesus, but Good Friday is good because it's good for you. Did you know that in the Bible, it explains about 80 personal benefits to you, 80 personal benefits to your life that are available to you because Jesus Christ died for you and then he came back to life. Did you know that? I wonder how many of those you might be able to name, of those 80 benefits. If you don't know what they are, you certainly can't benefit from them. And if you don't know what you've inherited, you could spend your life in poverty. And if you don't know that the cure is available, you can die without hope. And that's why I want to invite you to join me this week, the Easter week services, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at a Saddleback Church campus near you. And there are 18 of them. There are so many benefits to your life that you may be unaware of that this Easter, I'm actually going to share a 2-part Easter message. It's called What Jesus Purchased for You, Part 1 and Part 2. What Jesus Purchased for You, Part 1 and Part 2. And one of what Jesus purchased for you, part 1 of that, I'm going to talk about on Thursday and Friday at our services right here. And I will then share Part 2 of what Jesus purchased for you on Saturday and Sunday. I hope you can come hear both messages, but even if you can't, even if you can only hear one this Easter week of these 2, I'm certain, I really am, I'm certain that it can change your life. Not just for now, but for all of eternity. Now, right now, I'm standing on this beautiful field of Saddleback Church Lake Forest campus, where we're actually going to hold all of our Easter week services outside. You don't even have to come inside a church building. There'll be thousands and thousands of chairs set up here, and we're going to have the service here, and then we will broadcast them to all of our other campuses. Last year, almost 60,000 people came to Easter at Saddleback, at one of our locations. This year, with everything being so green from all the rain we've had, I just felt we should do all of our celebrating outside in God's beautiful nature. So bring your suntan oil and come and celebrate Easter with us. So here's what I want you to do. First, go online to saddleback.com. It's real easy, saddleback.com, and find the Saddleback campus nearest to you. You'll find all the times of the services and all the details there, saddleback.com. Second, if somebody has shared this brief video with you, I urge you to pass it on. You share it with somebody else. You know, you can either post it on your social media or you can email it to a friend so that they too can learn all of the amazing benefits that God has made available to you and to them through what happened on Easter week 2,000 years ago. Remember, it split history into AD and BC. It's the most important event in history. I look forward to seeing you this week. God bless you.